Welcome back to Beaverdome episode 8. This is my Folktales playthrough on update 7 of Timberborn. On this episode, we are going to be looking at hopefully a few more things than last time. Kind of got a bit focused on this so-called fun zone over here, but it's not quite as fun as it could be. But it will be, I think, by the end of this. Also, we're going to look at zip lines. It's a bit of a distance for the beavers to travel, so we can't speed that up a bit for them. And if we get opportunity and time, I think we're going to also look at sorting out the industry that started up over here, and fixing some of the food getting sorted out as well. So industry's sort of covered, but the food is a bit lacking. So obviously we've got some cattails here, which we need to get to cracker form. We need to clear some of this area out and get some wheat planted so we can make bread. So, right now, we are in probably the middle of a bad tide, and we are waiting for the beavers to finish a lot of this extra bit of water storage for us up here. Right now there's not much we can do about it because it's still got a giant hole in the front of it, but if anyone was here last time, the plan is to drop the level here all the way down to this level here, which just there, so that we can control the sluices that I've put in here, and that can keep this at a nice topped up level at least for a little bit longer. Not that I anticipate it being too much of a problem, because we're only on normal difficulty, so we're not looking at 30-day droughts or 30-day bad tides. So anyway, it's all experience. We are waiting on quite a few things for the beavers to get done. What might be a bit more efficient is spinning this round, but I'm not going to mess with it at this point. We'll just leave them to it. The priority for this, I believe, is just normal, so they'll get around to it. We have enough logs to handle that. And we have also planted, or will be planting once this is done, which I think I'm going to get a rush job on, this here for the extra oaks, which I'm going to take away from this area. So to start with, I think we should make the effort to just unplant these, as I do not want these to be redone, because this is going to be where the wheat comes from. Good. So once the bad tide is flushed out, there we go, the water spills back in, and here comes the water. So that should top up everything back down here, fill up this back area here. Now, what I also asked them to do last time, which they never got round to, was a little bit of a inlet for the water here, just a single block, just to keep all this super green. But unfortunately, when it stopped with the bad tide, it all flushed straight out. So again, now that this is done, hopefully we get someone in here, which looks like we are. I'm going to also rush job these over the other reservoir, just because it'll be handy to have this not empty. Just keep all this lovely and green. Right, so food. That's what we need to get over here. So right now we've got this little area where they're currently sleeping. This was what was just thrown down at the start, and where everyone pretty much lives. Now there is one house here which is full, but this ultimately is going to be where all of them come to sleep. So all of this will get paused and move over here, but I need to be careful because I don't want overpopulation boom because of that. So what we shall look at sorting out with the food is getting all the cooked or prepared stuff over here, so that when they're eventually here, they don't have to go too far to get something to eat. Now there's a nice little gap here, which I'm hoping should be able to fit most things in. So just look at the warehouses, which they do not fit. No, yes, they do. So right now, the food that we have is berries, which they've never touched, carrots, grilled chestnuts, grilled potatoes, and grilled spanadoc, and some sunflower seeds. I actually don't know where they are. Are they just in? Don't know where they are. I think they've just been gathered. I didn't want to do that, did I? Hang on. It's my bad. Let me just fix that problem. It is, in fact, this that I wanted to do. There we go. So, with that fixed, they can start cutting that down. So, where was I? Food, yes. So, I was looking for sunflower seeds. Now they're here, and I'm guessing they're just stored in here. Yes, they are. Right, that's fine. As I don't have a lot of storage for those. But we can fix that. So, what I'm going to have over here is just a little collection of the actual food itself. Probably double height this eventually. But I think for the time being, we'll just set this to the main foodstuffs. I'm going to go with the potatoes and the spanadocs, and we don't have maple pastries yet. Chestnuts, spanadoc, nothing. Why not carrots? I'm going to completely ignore the berries. In fact, I may just get rid of them. What I do want to get is eventually get all of these little finished food storages for these ones. So I want these to be a supply warehouse to here, so that when the beavers get up in the morning, they can just come down to a little breakfast nook and get themselves sorted. We're also going to put in some water storage down here, which I'm struggling to find. Now, again, I don't think this truly matters. It's a bit of a waste. I don't think we need it, but I'm going to put in a big boy tank, and that should boost our water supplies generally, because we have one big tank over here and a little one left over there, which is pretty much sustaining the entire colony. So if we double it, we're going to be fine. It's never too much of an issue to have too much water. It's never been a complaint before, I don't think. So let them build all this in their time, and we've got everything coming in here. And once that's done, I think I'm going to get this prioritized again, as I want to start moving these bits out. So that's raw. I'd like that emptying. I'd like that emptying. And that one. Raw goods and raw goods. So the raw goods can stay. And then once this is finished, the carrots should get moved out of here, which is what we want. There we go. So I'm just going to mark these with nothing. It's just still get emptied. So get rid of those, and what's that one? There's also carrots. We don't have raw for grilled chestnuts, so it's maybe, oops, wrong one. Maybe a bit much, but we're gonna do it. Grilled chestnuts. And that's pretty much all the raw food. Now we're going to get bakeries sorted, and I think we're okay for the grills. They seem to be keeping up fairly well. We've got good distribution of those numbers. I mean, obviously, grilled chestnuts isn't great because we haven't got a massive warehouse room, but that will change. There's plenty of chestnuts here. So I think there's stuff in here that's not been harvested yet. Let's have a look. Yeah, there's loads. So not too much of a concern there. I'd like to rush build that. I think I can board this. Yes, blanks, 80, yeah. Good. So, with that being said, obviously get through the night. It shouldn't take too long on triple speed. This is shooting up, which is good. How do we turn the water back on? Make it non-see-through. Oh well, figure that one out another time. So with these wide open, obviously it's coming to there, and we do have some dams on top for this to overspill. So I think what's going to be best is getting the beavers to also prioritize after they've built. Never mind. Now that they've built that, so good. What we could do with doing now is eventually getting this all sorted out. We've got any space in here? Not really. But we'll get all this sorted out. Probably put raw on the opposite side and sort out a bit of a production area for the food. Now, why are they not building the things on here? Why can't they build you? Ah, because you're low priority. Well, now that we have the planks, which we were kind of stuck with before, as we'd blown through most of those building some of this in the first place. But if we get it back up to non-priority, they can then start to get some of these dance halls done. We have the sparkly planks for it, which is fine. Metal blocks we have enough of, more than enough, and yeah, logs for days. The oak's getting sorted. There's also this area up here is just going to be like a little random forest area. I'm going to unplant these so they all just spread naturally eventually once this beavers got round and planted everything. So what are we like? We have a spare beaver. We're full on pretty much everything, I think, if we can get them in. So are there any vacant jobs? Yes, we can get them. We can definitely get them in here. So there we go. And let's get these prioritized as well, because I'd like to start making a big hole for that. And with these, we don't know if we can fit them in this one, but we'll find out. Cattail roots, put some of those into there. And what else are we stuck on? So we are pretty much full on food, so yeah, I think it's going to be time to get these sorted. And I think I'm going to take the hit on them being upset by this by pausing a couple of these. I'm not going to be popular, but never mind. Give them some incentive to get it built as quickly as possible. Then I can have a nice fancy new house down here. Hopefully it doesn't dip too much in the well-being. I'm hoping there's enough with the gore and whatnot to keep them at least somewhat happy. And what I will say is get these privatized. Maybe that one as well. And then with that, they should have enough space. Is it worth putting some wood down here? Probably. They are coming from pretty much the other end of creation for that. So let's just do this. Get some logs. Get it to obtain. And we'll get the haulers moving it down here, the builders. I'm going to be very unhappy sleeping out, but it's just camp, just camping. They'll be fine. They'll enjoy it. It won't take them too long to get that finished. Prioritized by haulers. Thank you. So, hopefully the builders will be able to just pick the goods up from here and smash through these pretty quick. In fact, I also want these sorted as well. The water can wait. They can go get that. It's not going to be too bad. There we go. That should increase. Why do you not have a... Oh, have I completely... I have. So let me just pause that quickly while I realise my gravest of errors. How can I fix that? Aha, so I have made a bit of a boo-boo. Let's take that out. Let's get rid of that. Why don't we... Let's give these a penthouse view back here. I think that'll be quite nice for them. Let's just put the privacy of those ones. And what we can do for sorting out paths is run a nice little balcony just across here. And I think, well, we're going to have to build this anyway, so why not just get this done? Let's put some more storage on top for those. But that should give them a nice little penthouse suite for the beavers that end up living here. And we can sort out a path for them. That's the easiest way to do that. I think if we do that there, I'm going to subtly mess around with this. Let's get rid of that. Just get rid of that. Actually, I didn't want to do that, so let's get rid of that. Because OCD reasons, let's just put that in there so there's now two ways in. So, on there, path here. Look at that. And there's a nice little path. In fact, let's... There we go. There's a nice little square for them to walk around. That'll be very nice. Very nice. Good. Right, let's go. With that tiny mistake fixed, everything else should have a path. Which looks like it does. We can get that sorted from as soon as possible. Good. Right, so we've started to get the dynamite here, which is exactly what we need. First step is to dig these out. And we're going to send them in to flatten this, and then we're just going to do 2 deep on this one, and then everything should be then down to this level. We'll wait for that to happen. Still plenty of dynamite for that, so some more of these houses coming online, which is good. We're going to have space for a few extra beavers actually out the back of this, so that's okay. And we will need to move the farmer monument, I think, as well as some other nice to haves up here. But we can concentrate on that. So, where were we? Food. So we're starting to make a bit of a dent in there, which is good. Spider duck is kind of full. I would like to move the actual district centre at some point, but we'll worry about that later, I think. So yeah, an extra house there. Let's just sorry, get rid of those, and then so let's just plan this out. So what else? What other food do we have? So drought approaching. So it's, again, not that it really matters too much, but let's kaboom that, which is good. Bit of a splashing, but that's okay. And if we just get this put in, Again, what I want them to get them to do is, I'd like them to do this as their main priority for the time being, actually. And then we can knock all this all the way down to effectively 1. And that should keep us pretty stationary on the water down here, really. And what I can... I don't really want to do that, actually, because I need them to fill this up. But we might be able to just up this to quite high. But we'll see, because this has a habit of not working for me and flooding pretty much everything. But we'll get around to that. What's wrong with you? Oh, you've not built all of that stuff. Very good point. Let's just do that. Let's get the goods in. And the haulers can work on that as well. So, they don't have quite as far to walk to get all of their goods. Okay, so I've not stacked that, which is fine. Those goods are filling up, which should free some space up in these, which it has. And we also have 2 spare beavers. I think an extra builder's hut is probably the best way to go. I do want to put this somewhere up and out of the way, so why not here? As I do eventually want to shift this one out as well. So what might be an idea while we're looking at this is that too high? It is. So let's just squeeze that in there, and we're going to look to shift this builder's hut to here. And because it's in the middle, we should have a decent path, which we do. It probably doesn't help that I keep giving them stuff to build when we've got so much shown here to get through, but yeah, and this, and this, and this, but yeah. When that comes in, it'll be fine. Could really do with that sorting out as well. Yep. Right. In the meantime, we can just get rid of those, and we can clear all that out later. And with any luck, they can get those in. Well, it's not going to happen, it seems, so it doesn't really matter too much. We could blow it up, but I think there's enough storage in there anyway. But let's just explode that. Knock that down. And then they can work on that, so eventually it'll stop, or at least that's the hope. I up that to 95. Maybe it won't flood, but we can only live in hope. With any luck. Anyway. So we are down a job. It's fine, I think. We don't need to then rush for any of these extra spaces. With the drought, we're kind of stuck for any hour up here anyway, so what might be wise is to just pause these, get some beavers about, as we cannot do anything with it really, so let's just get them out of there. So we've still got 5 homeless beavers, but they will sort themselves out in time. So anyway, let's get cooked goods in. So we've got options in here. So we have no bread, as we don't have any wheat, which we can fix. Carrots of storage, cocktail crackers have got to be sorted out first. So I think we just need 3 more. Which I don't think we can fit 3 more in, but we're gonna have to rejig some stuff, I think. But let's just lay them in. Let's commit to you being tail crackers, you to bread, and I'll not bother putting the path in because it'll annoy me enough to get them to sort that out later. And then across the back, if we're doing raw goods, we're gonna need all of these setting up, I think. And we're doing another one for raw wheat, actually, don't we? Yeah, okay. We could do with something a bit bigger for the sunflower seeds. Oops, where have we gone? So let's, while we're here, let's just don't think we'll need these, but let's just get the one for bread, one for the crackers, one for the maples, and why not for the sunflowers? I think that should be all the raw foods. All the way over here. It can't be, there must be more. What are these? Carrots, grilled spreader duck. The berries we don't have. Yeah, okay, no, that's right. The berries, again, I don't really care about those. What's left to build here? Still quite a few to go. Fair enough. So yeah, they can get around to those as and when. Are we going through our planks? No, not so much. We're doing okay. We're probably going to have to slow down construction just a tiny bit while we wait for these trees to grow in. We're at halfway there, so it's not going to be too much longer, I don't think. So once all of these have been built, I think we're just going to pause construction. So let's just low prioritize these so we don't get anything put in that we shouldn't. And then, yeah, we're going to need to think of what we need to do with these. I think these need to move probably over to the industrial zone over here. It's a bit of a long trek for wood to get to, but again, yeah, that is a problem. I mean, not before the water comes back, I suppose. But yeah, I think we're gonna need, it's gonna be best is going to be, where have we got places to cut? So there's that one and that one. We probably should get someone over here. And then we can have these set to prioritize by haulers to drag that back to a central bit. So let's move the logs and planks up here because this is where it's going to be. So we have the bigger warehouses. Can we fit a pile in here? We can. Let's make that for wood. And then we get with a bit of dynamiting, we could work some magic with that. I think might be an idea. So let's set this up. This way it's not going to be too much of an issue. Now they're going to need to get up there, aren't they? Yeah, we will just commit to the planks and logs. I know what I meant. Let's just do that, get them up here, and then we can get... There we go. Cycle 17. This is done, as is this. So let's just do a quick kaboom on that. Yeah, that should top all this back up nicely. And see if we get a flooding. When this starts overspilling, see if it actually starts to flood with these pulled up as high as they are. Probably gonna see that, as I have absolutely no luck with it whatsoever. Yes, there we go. Right on cue. Let's see if we settle down. It's probably a little bit too high, but yeah, okay. Fine. 90. Set that to 85. I think this is going to need a bit of a balancing act to figure out what the levels need to be what, and then once I've figured it out, just leave them alone. So they are close. Everything should be spilling over there. So why is 3 enough but not enough? Let's just set that to 85. So we're not flooding down here anymore, but this is not working up here. So does this need to be 4 wide? I'm going to probably say yes. Just rip that out. Rip the band-aid off on that one. And stick a dam in. Bring me this and sort it out as soon as possible, please. We are not flooding anymore, which is good. Let's get these back working. We need to worry about blocks. Yeah, why not? We've got storage. We may as well fill it up. Dynamite. Pretty much full. Sparkling black. We may as well just turn these on to get everything full as what we can. Are these trees popping up yet? No. Why is this flooded? Really? Why? I hate this. I hate dams. So does it need to be 5 wide? It's always a guessing game. This is the exact problem I had earlier on when I used dams down here originally instead of these. Originally there was some floodgates here and there was only 4 wide, which seemed to be fine, so I only put 4 here, but it needed all of these to be put in. Even that's not enough. Or is it? Is it? I think it's okay. I mean, this end here is very unhappy. Let's just take it out. Just give me a dam, put it in. I didn't particularly want to be playing with this to balance it quite so much, but with that in, it looks like it might be okay. It's stopped flooding up here. Stop spilling over the sides. Push comes to shove, we can put another one in here. And it's pretty much exactly what was originally there. So we just need to keep an eye on this level here. As long as this stays fairly steady. And I think we've cracked it. Good. Right. Water is no longer everywhere, he says. Hoping. We are not flooding. This is very full, but that is really a problem. Okay, that's done now, which is good. Let's see what else. Oh, that's probably why everyone's so happy. Needs deeper water. Where is the water? Why is there no water? There should be water in here. Why? Oh. Whoops. Never mind. Problem solved. With any luck, I think it should be deep enough for them. It won't be too deep, but there we go. Awesome. So we have places for them to swim. Get some of that wet fur bonus. Let's just get them built as well. Add that to the list. You should not be flooding. Why are you flooding? Sort yourselves out. It'll be fine. I have every faith it'll sort itself out. I hope. Good. So with that super mega full, we can let them get everything else built. We should be getting some of the benefit from it, which is good. Right, where were we? So we were over here fixing these bits. So that's to do. Let's just put in a path. We were cutting a hole into here. What was the size of it again? So we just need... Yeah, all right. So we need one here. And that. That should give us enough space in there to fit that. Good. Right, we'll let them get round to that and the stairs and everything at their leisure. We probably need to look to get these connected up as well. That's a job for another time. We also need to figure out a way to stop the contamination getting here, which I guess just run across here and it should pull this back a bit. We started this? No, all that. So what are the beavers building? It's probably all this still, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay. Let's look at these. I don't have many beds free, which is a bit of a pain. Why is that outside your range? Well, how did these get planted then? That makes no sense, but okay. That is very true. You have nothing to do in range. All the scrap is gone, so let's just pause you. So we actually have no metal being gathered anymore. Now there is some up here. And to be honest, we may as well clear this area. Bit of recycling, I think. So let's get that in. So just... Yep, need to get rid of that. Get rid. Yet more stuff for them to do, but it's going to be fine. Just put in a couple. That's true, you don't have anything to do in stock. Have I actually for cutting? I have not. Not that there's really anything to cut yet, but may as well just lay it in. Let's get that put in. This is going to get ripped out at some point. I don't know exactly when, but it will. Probably should also mark these. So these are going to be useful. Let's just get that emptied. We are going to have to get up here and deal with this extra up here at some point as well, but we can figure out how to best do that at another time. It's just that. Let's put in another little oak just there. Okay, so that's under construction, but nothing's been done yet. Right, so what was the other thing down here? Planks. We need somewhere to put planks as well. I guess we should probably put... We should probably put in another one. If that's going there, that should fit in quite nicely there, actually. So let's just get you down for the planks. I'm just going to get him to do this. So I'd like to lay the storage in as quickly as possible. Let's just make a really ugly path here. There we go, make it a tidy path. Boom. But they can't do anything until them steps are done, so I would have to wait for that. We are out of scrap, but we have 300 metal blocks, so we don't really have to be too worried about it, I don't think. And let's just put some more trees in here. Nice little space for it. This forest is nice and busy. And since that's finished, let's get that for water. We can probably just leave that as is. We don't need to obtain goods over here anymore. We might do actually if we're doing any more construction and whatnot, but yeah, anyway. So we have quite a lot of things here that are gone. Can you reach that? Yes, you can. You have nothing to do in range, so I think we can say goodbye to this. Get that job back. Now, we need to... We could really do with greenifying this area, to be honest. I'm just wondering what the better way of doing it would be. Probably just digging a hole underneath one of these, to be fair. Boom. And let's just lay that storage in. Just waited all this time for it. And get the path in. What was that? Logs. I was going to go here. Scrap? Was it scrap? Was it metal? It's probably a bit of a waste for scrap, but I know scrap's there. Metal, logs, nothing, blanks. Let's just make it. No, in fact, no. Let's do that, and we'll just. I'll not put anything in there. Not that we've got any coming in, but we've got decent amounts of storage there for pretty much all the major construction materials. So planks, it's treated planks. We could potentially do with changing that large pile for that. So let's get rid of that. Let's put in another one. Back to planks. So we do have pretty much everything that we can get right now. We don't get anything from the dirt because we don't have an excavator yet, so we're not really constructing anything, but it's not too much of a problem. Just get that going. Right. Okay. So most of these trees are gone, so we should get something with a farmhouse, I think. Let's just make them both reach the same thing. So let's get rid of that. Farmhouse. Oh, you can't read. No, you can. Why can you not read? Have they not marked for cutting? Is that why? They are not. There we go. Fixed. Please get rid. In fact, just get rid of you. Let's get that farmhouse in. It would be nice if that was flipped the other way. So, demolish me some resources. And I would like these ripping out immediately. Good. Let's get that. Finally, get that. Get that in. So these two can pretty much share each other's jobs. But crops. Wheat. Just plant that much for now. See if we need any more than that. There's still some oaks up here to go. There's what, 5, 6, 5 to go. So that's not too bad. No good selected. Where's that one? I would like that to be scrapped as a supply. And so I think the build queue is finally catching up. And the water, it does look now to be stable, so I think we've about cracked that. So we have all of these sorted. Yep. Empty this, please, as I'd like it to go away. Hopefully the haulers can sort that out for us pretty quick. And let's see. So with that, I think we should get some of the grills sorted out down here. So at the minute we've just got 3, which covers pretty much the potatoes, spadadoc, and the chestnuts. And they are, again, coping very well. But I think it might be advantageous to just chuck them across here. So let's do that. Potatoes, chestnuts, and spadadoc. Let's just get rid of these. So once they're finished, we can tidy up that, made it a little bit neater and tidier. There's no one in here, so are we down some beavers? Yes, we need jobs and we need beds. Didn't think we'd need beds quite so soon, but there's a surprise. Right, so that should stop flowing. And this should contain at 85. These are set to 90, so these should stop, which they have. And they should just surge through here. And with any luck, we should be sorted. Good, the back's got waters being retained. Excellent. Okay. So I'm pretty sure water is now no longer ever going to be an issue, unless I do something ridiculously stupid. But for some reason we get a 30-day drought in a normal mode, which I guess could happen. So we've got that there. So I think now we should sort of look at getting the beavers around a bit more efficiently than what we're doing, which is where the zip lines come in. So we're going to have to do a bit of research for that, but we have pretty much all the science I think we're going to need. Where is... I'm not entirely sure where they are. So bots, we don't need to worry about bots. Where is the zip lines? Not there. It's houses. Aha. So we're going to need pretty much all of these. Maybe not so much the beams, but certainly going to need the pylons and these. So let's commit that science now. And while we're here, we might need these. Because we're going to have to take the long route up here. So this eventually will become the main scrap zone, because we have the mine. So the best way to get them up to here is probably just 600,000 stairs here. And then we just need to see where we need to worry about putting zip lines in a moment. But let's just connect this up. Good, we've got oaks coming in, and they've finally got around to getting rid of all those berries, and in the meantime they've got some more cropped up. So let's just get rid of you, you, and you. Rip them out. And I think we can safely say, let's get some more trees, some oaks in here. Let's just connect that in. There should, between this guy and not this guy, although I still don't know how these have been planted. I don't know what's changed to make that a problem. We may need to put in another forester, but I guess just for ease, put this guy here. That was quick. That was very quick. Okay, so with that said there, let's find out where this can live. Hopefully without too much of an issue getting in the way of anything else. If we... Yeah, I guess if we just get that there. No, that's never going to work. Let's not put that there. I guess short term, this is a bit dirty, but we're going to do it. So we'll get those built, and then we can bring them down to here, I think. Should get them quite nicely down to here. But we could, I wonder if we could put it on top if we had. Can't really center it, can we? Which is a bit disappointing, but we put this guy here. Can it reach? Is it too far away? It is too far away. Can reach there, not there. Okay. Choices. What can we do with that? I guess it'd be nice to be able to fit there, but it's not going to. Well, actually, I suppose it could do if we get a bit sneaky. Let's put this guy here, and if we get just a little intermediate zip line pylon there, I think they can build that from here. Just like it. Let's just add this to here, add that to there. And then once that's sorted, it's going to be getting across here. So we may need to move this guy as well, but if needs must, needs must. Because I would put money on that you can't go that way. Oh good, that's getting built. So let us start worrying about getting these trees sorted out up here. Let's get the logs. I just like to get this just cleared and out the way. Can never find it. Right, rip all of this out. Hopefully, yeah, it's all within reach. And we have a zip line, so they can get up this mountain without too much of an issue, which is good. And I think we can start working on getting them across here, so we don't have to worry too much about any of this long distance travel. Good, they've been built. We haven't got the crackers or that yet, but we have got the bakeries sorted. They're done, so let's get rid of this. And I think we can maybe move the hauling post as well. Let's just place that in. Oh, fits perfectly. So yeah, let's put that there. We'll rip all this out and probably put just a sneaky little path on there. But I'll not delete that just yet. Good. Right. So let's just empty that. Drought's almost over. So that's what we want to see. And I don't think we need anything over here, to be fair. I'll leave this in for the dirt. Not that we need it for anything. We can't dig it up yet, so. And then we do need to potentially look at those. I don't seem to be having too much of a problem with any of these other bits and pieces, so we've not got bots yet, so we don't worry too much about that. Books, so maybe paper is where we start to look at to improve some more of the well-being later on, but yeah, let's worry about that another time for another episode. Let's just get that marked in. Empty this. Empty this. And what we've got in here, logs, is kind of full, but let's just empty this as well. Like it all gone. Okay, so that's the drought over. So I think for now, just go over quickly what we've got managed to get sorted. We've, I think, I'd hope, looked to have improved our area here for production. It's not quite as good as it could be. Get these ripped out, get this moved. In fact, we can move that now, so that should get rid, and they should all go over here. I'd like that to be high priority, thank you. Just set one of these to lower, so that's fine. Get these emptied. Once these are emptied, we can put in what else we need to put in for these, which I think is here comes the flood, as per. Should disappear shortly. I'm not going to worry about the berries, we said that before. I think it's maples and bread. It's maples I think we need to put in. Yeah. Luckily that didn't kill the wheat. Good. So, water's doing really weird things, but never mind. So yeah, once these are emptied, we'll sort this out next time, but we'll rip these out, just put the other storage in. We'll move the raw storage to the back. We may flip those around actually and just move them about a bit, but we'll see. Are you okay? Are you surging for no real reason? Yeah, you're not spilling over, so that's okay. Not leaking there. Good. Probably could do with digging that out, to be fair, make that a little bit easier for them. I think it's just the flush back from these. These really need to be swapped for something else, I suppose. I don't really want to, but might need to. But we'll worry about that next time as well. So, we've got tree farm moved. We've got wheat planted. We should, if we get anyone in here, which we do not, but we need to build to get more housing. So that's probably going to be expanding this. I'm just going to put another layer on top of this. Hopefully that's enough, but we'll find out the next time. But yeah, the dam's finished, so water storage forever. We've started clearing up this area up here, which will eventually become where all the metal comes from. So we'll get rid of this first before worrying about a mine. And we've got them working on this bit to clear all this bit out. All the food seems to be looking pretty good. Sunflowers we need to improve on, which we could probably start ripping out some of these trees and berries down here, to be honest. But we'll look at that next time. And then one thing that we do need to get is the grist mill, which we will unlock now, and the bakery. Look at these buildings. They are quite big. So yeah, okay. So with these, we'll start to move these in. No, in fact, should we put these in now? I tell you what, let's just get those in. It's just you doing that one and that one. So both goes doing cactus, as we have a lot of that, and we'll need to figure out a storage for those, which we can build next time, but they should hold some in there. So we can leave the beavers to work on that. We've expanded, well, we finished the fun zone for now anyway, which fun consists of dancing. and looking at beaver statues and swimming. We'll get the mud pits sorted out in short order and look at some of the other bits and pieces we can get down here. Maybe look at roofs as well once we've got the final layer on top. And pretty much think we're in a great position, to be honest. Oh, you need power. I didn't see that. Well. Well, these were wasted buildings. Well, I'll fix that next time. But we can just delete that exercise in futility. Probably put them down here with some of these. But anyway, that's one for next time. Cool. So, I think that about wraps up today's episode. So if you have any questions or comments or things that I'm doing wrong, or would just like to shout and scream saying I'm an idiot, please feel free to put those down in the comments below. And thank you for watching. See you next time.